morning everybody, Car and Biker here. It's a lovely day. It's a bit on the icy side, you can probably pick up the odd bit of frost in the grass still. But the ice is kind of disappearing off the road, which is nice. There's only the odd little bit. I'm heading towards somewhere much higher up though, heading into the Yorkshire Moors, so who knows, might get icy up there. Which means it's the perfect day for testing a little bit of new gadgetry that I've got. So it's very cold, it's probably 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I'm very decimal apart from miles. But there you go, a bit of frost on that field. The camera will pick it up. And I'm wearing my kind of normal jacket. I've not got my liner in. I've got my summer gloves on. I've got my heated grips on, which is obviously cheating. And just my standard jeans. And I'm out testing whether or not I get too cold in 2 degrees of heat. Or lack of heat. 2 degrees isn't exactly warm. However, I've got my new bit of gadgetry. I mentioned it. I mentioned the idea in a Tower of Babel that I recorded not too long ago. I put up and a couple of people replied and said that they liked theirs. So I ended up buying one, and this is my second time trying it, and it is a Keis, I think it's Keis, K-E-I-S, X10 heated vest. Now, Keis do a lot of heated gear, and I've just gone with the basic vest. I think it's the most basic one you can get. Cost about 80 to 85 pounds, I think. I can't remember the exact number. It was the right side of £100 though. And I got the heat controller with it for free, so you don't always get the heat controller, I believe. But I got that for free, which was nice. Bit of an offer that was on at the time. And it's a vest. So you put it on, you put on some layer underneath. It says not to put it against your skin because it'll burn you. Or it can cause blistering, I think is the phrase that they use. And I don't fancy that. So you put it on. I've got it on over a t-shirt and a jumper at the minute. And frustratingly slow lorry. And then you plug it in to some kind of power source. So I've gone with the kind of standard that people might expect, which is this wire down here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. If I can put my head low enough for you to see it with the camera where it is on the helmet. But it's a wire, it just goes straight to the battery, 2 little hoopy connectors straight onto the battery, and then it's got a little fuse box. I suppose fuse box is probably overselling it actually. It's one of those fuse holders, inline fuse holder. It comes with a whole set of fuses and I'm using the smallest one. But depending on how you configure the vest, you have to change the fuse. It comes with all the ones you're going to need, which is quite nice. What I say about configuring it, basically it's a modular system, the Keis system. So as I say, I've got the basic vest, but you can connect all sorts of other gear to it. You can buy a jacket with sleeves as well. I'll come back to why I didn't buy that in a minute. But you can buy gloves, and the vest has 2 little plugs against the armholes, so you can run a wire up your jacket sleeve and plug it in there to each glove, and then you can have heated gloves as well. That uses a bit more power, so you have to have a bigger fuse. The little piece of paper comes with the jacket to show you which fuse to use for which configurations. You can also run, there's a connector at the bottom, so you can run a wire at the bottom to heated inner trousers, so you can put your hot trousers underneath your jeans or your textiles or whatever. I doubt they'd fit under leathers. And then you can even connect them on further to a pair of heated insoles, so you can put insoles inside your bikey boots, keep your feet nice and warm. Now I've only got the vest, so at the minute I've got lovely warm hands because of my heated grips and my hand guards. I've got a lovely warm body because of my vest. My arms are a bit cold, but kind of doesn't really matter that. It doesn't affect my riding. My legs are a bit cold because I haven't got any trousers on. No, that's not true. No, clearly I've got trousers on, I haven't got any heated trousers on. Well, the bike gives me a bit of protection, so that's good. As I say, you've got this wire that goes to the battery that heats all the gear. The reason I've gone with the vest rather than the one with sleeves, one is cost, but to be fair, it wasn't that much more expensive for the one with sleeves. But the other is that I don't really want to attach one of these cables to the Z1000. There's not enough room coming out from under the seat to run a cable out. I don't want to take the risk of scratching the paint by squeezing one out. And there's nowhere to kind of put the cable to keep it tidy. Because the bike's got, there's so little off the bike. It's basically an engine and wheels, isn't it? So I didn't want that. But I would like to use the heated vest on that bike. And as long as you've got just the vest, so no trousers, no heated gloves, no heated insoles, and crucially no heated sleeves, as long as you're only running off the minimum, which is the X10 vest, or I think the X20 vest as well, which has a heated neckline, then you can actually plug into a battery pack. So you can buy a rechargeable battery pack. So I could actually use that. If anybody's done that and got the battery pack, I'd be intrigued to know how long it lasts and how good it is. Because obviously I haven't had a chance to try it yet, and I don't want to spend £60 on a battery pack, almost as much as the vest itself, if it's no good. But the battery pack, if it's good, would be a really good idea, because just going out for a walk on a winter's day, having that would be nice. Don't know if I mentioned it, by the way, but at the minute I've got my textile jacket on. I've not even got a liner in it, mainly because well, apart from because I'm testing the vest, but mainly because I don't want too many layers. Although layering up is good if you're a pensioner in winter, it's not so good on a bike if you've got too many layers and everything starts to get a bit tight. So it starts to tighten up if I've got my inner liner and my t-shirt jumper and my heated vest. So I've gone without the liner. The heated vest has a wind blocking outer fabric that's supposed to sort all that kind of stuff out for you, so it's a good test, isn't it? So how's the test actually going? I kind of haven't mentioned that yet. That's kind of the key thing, isn't it? Well, I say this is my second test. The first test I did with the heat controller in line, and the second test I did without it, because I wasn't sure if something weird was going on with the heat controller. And taking the heat controller out of the equation has made no difference. Basically, without the heat controller, when you plug in, it's just on full power all the time, which is fine. I mean, it's not burning. It's not like heated grips when you turn them up to full and on your Oxford or something and start melting your gloves. The heat it gives out is kind of, I think it's above body temperature, but not hugely above. So it just kind of keeps you at the right temperature, stops you from kind of your core temperature from dropping, which is the key thing, isn't it? If your core temperature drops, you suddenly stiffen up and start shivering. And I've been out now for about an hour in, as I say, 2 or 3 degrees. It's probably less than that now. I'm seeing more and more frost as I ride along. Excuse me. And I'm not shivering yet. I'm not cold. So yeah, it's doing its job quite nicely. And it's kind of, let's say, it's not hugely hot. It's like a warm bath kind of temperature. Not a bath that when you get in you kind of too much, but a bath where you get in you think, yeah, that'll do, that'll be nice. Now the weird thing, the bit, say why I'm trying it for a second time, that's the thing I'm not sure of, whether this is by design or not. And it's doing it even without the heat controller in. I had a feeling that maybe when I had the heat controller in, because it was going inside a little pocket inside the vest, I had a feeling that it was pressing and potentially turning the thing on and off as I went along. But it seems it just does that anyway, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to. If you've got one, please let me know if yours does this, because then I can find out if this is what it's supposed to do or if it's faulty and needs to go back. But as I ride along, right now I've got this lovely, lovely warmth coming across me, like they say, the warm bath type of heat, and it's delightful. And it'll be like this for about 5 minutes, and then it just kind of slowly cools down. And when it gets to a certain point, you can start to feel that it's not as warm anymore. You've got kind of, I wouldn't say it's cold, but it's definitely colder, and it's definitely noticeably cooler than when it was at its heating. But I'm not sure whether that's just that it comes in bursts on purpose, or maybe there's a thermostat involved, or, as I say, if it's faulty. As for the vest itself, as I say, it's just a simple vest. It's very, very thin, surprisingly thin. I thought it'd be quite bulky. I thought it'd be kind of body warmer, a bit kind of Marty McFly in Back to the Future. But actually, it's really thin. It's probably thinner than my winter liner for the jacket. Certainly, it doesn't feel as bulky now as it used to with just the jacket with a liner. It's say a wind blocking fabric on the outside, a nice soft fabric on the inside that transmits the heat through, and then in the middle the heating elements apparently are made of carbon fibre, so it's all kind of, oh, it's like Formula 1, isn't it? It's amazing. Quite impressed with it, quite pleased. Oh, another lovely burst of warmth coming through. The last time I tried it, I actually went to the same place I'm going now. But I went there to make a video, and the video messed up, having problems with the camera. And when I came back, the video had no sound on it, so I'm going back there to do the video again. And when I went there the other day, again it was freezing. So it's on the top of the North York Moors, and the roads were icy, probably colder than it is now. And I was a bit wary thinking about this going warm and going cold, and thinking, oh, have I got a problem with it? And is it just not working properly, you know? And when I got to the place I was going to, got me other camera out and started having a walk around this thing I'm going to look at. And obviously to do that I unplugged from the bike, and within 3 minutes I was freezing, shivering like mad. So it was obviously doing its job, even though the heat had kind of waned a bit. That's probably the last thing to mention, actually, saying about unclipping from the bike, unplugging. One thing that had concerned me was, what if I forget I've got that wire down there and get off and walk away? Now the wire, it kind of just pushes together. If you imagine your laptop with its little round power connector, it's kind of like that, but with a little tiny clip on the plastic, but a clip that just holds it in place and really gives very little resistance. So what I did when I first tried it, I kind of plugged in and I just got off the bike and took 2 steps away just to see what would happen. Basically the thing just comes unclipped by itself really easily. I wouldn't advise pulling on the wires to pull them apart, because it's never good for wires to pull on them. But at least it's that peace of mind that if you forget to unclip it, you're not going to walk away, especially walk off the wrong side and pull the bike over, or damage the vest or anything. So that's quite good. So anyway, that's my my little reviewette of the X10. I definitely like it. I'm in a cold spot at the minute, so this is as cool as it gets. And it's not. It could do with another degree or two to be nice. It now feels a little bit cool. Not shivery, but not far off. But then in another few minutes it'll warm back up again. It'll be lovely and toasty. So, in fact, I can feel it starting to come back now. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm not sure of. If that is how it's supposed to be, then maybe it's a 7 out of 10. And if it's not supposed to be like that, and actually I find out that it should be warm all the time, and I send it back and it's warm all the time, then it will be a great purchase. It'll be definitely a 9 out of 10. Hey-ho! I think that'll do. I think I've waffled on long enough, so thank you for watching, everyone. Ride safe, and I shall talk to you all again soon.